So what's up, you guys? My name is Josh. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be doing some a little interesting. Today we're gonna be doing kind of like a small little overview on the Godzilla Playmates toys line. Now, as some of you guys may or may not know, a couple of months ago I did a kind of like a discussion video talking about some of these figures because obviously when they first came out, well, I wouldn't say came out, a lot of the pictures started to pop up online and they got sort of a little bit of controversy. Sorry, controversy because not counting that a lot of people said the figures look bad. Some people were even saying that Playmates was even going out to like literally steal. Like there was the thing with Shin Godzilla, where a lot of people say that they were stealing the mold from NECA, which is obviously not true, but I mean, it's whatever, I guess. And basically, a lot of people look at these figures and people always talked about how ugly and just how terrible they are. But if I'm being very honest, it's like after buying some of these guys, it's like the more you look at them, the more you're kind of thinking they're not really as bad as some people say they are. I mean, I don't really know where to kind of go off with this because if I'm being honest, as you can see right here, I have the entire collection. The only one that I'm missing really is Gigan. That is the one that I'm missing really. But I figure I could still do the overall review without him because it's just one figure that I'm missing. And that's kind of another thing too. I wasn't really expecting to buy all of these because even I had my doubts at first. Even I wasn't really sure on what to think of some of these figures. As a collector, I kind of understand. They're very different from the one that Bandai used to make. And for some of you guys who don't know about Bandai, you see, they are the ones who make these sort of like vinyl style figures. And if you guys are not familiar with vinyl, think of it like a pretty nice, accurate representation of what the characters look like in the movies, but just not a lot of articulation. In fact, they're made of this sort of weird plastic where sometimes it's a little squishy and sometimes it's a little hard. Of course, the toy line first started in the early 2000s as Bandai Creations, and then they just kind of went off from there, and it kind of became its own thing. Even in Japan, they started making their movie monster series, where they had the more exclusive characters. Like they had the Kiryu, the Mecha Godzilla from the Millennium era, even characters like let me think, Mecha King Ghidorah, Biollante. Those are characters that you can only get in Japan, those figures. Not counting that sometimes they want so much money for them online, especially what's going on in today's world with the whole quarantine and the virus thing. When you try to buy stuff online, it's a hassle because now all the prices just went up and it's so ridiculous. So it's really hard to kind of, get yourself a figure, especially what's going on now. So what does this have to do with the Playmates figures? Well, as I explained, what happened is that Playmates now they gained the rights to do the toys for the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie that's supposed to come out in November. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was kind of unexpected because obviously these figures just kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't even knew these existed really. Nobody really knows anything about these figures too much. The only thing we could go by really is just the pictures. Sorry about that. Yeah, so like I say, they gain a little bit of controversy, but after buying almost the entire thing, they honestly don't look that bad at all. Don't get me wrong, they had their ups and downs. Right here, I have Shin Godzilla, as you can see. I did review this figure a while back. It wasn't the best review, honestly, but, gotta do what you can. The one that a lot of people really did talk about the most was Space Godzilla because of just how weird it was. And it's not a bad figure, although I definitely has its issues. Even I was thinking that this is it's such a weird figure, but I think it's better to kind of go over that in a more separate review. The ones that didn't get too much criticism are the ginormous ones. They're really big, like 10 or 11-inch ones. So right here, I got the Godzilla Final Wars figure. Now, this is really neat. Like, I really do like these a lot. I don't really understand why they got so much hate. Because, Playmates, they have a much more different kind of system going on. They don't really use like the plastic vinyl. They use a much more harder type of plastic, kind of like what they used to use in their old Playmates Ninja Turtles line, where back when the Ninja Turtles, was a thing, back in like I think 1986, I think that's when they first made the toys. I could be wrong. I don't remember too much. It's been a while, since I talked about Ninja Turtles, so my mind is it's kind of blank right now. I know the comic book came out in 1984, but still. So it's like, their toys, they had pretty hard plastic. So, I can understand why they gotta use it for them. Not counting that these are really big figures. Like this costs like $20. I still got the boxes, as you can see in the back. And of course, not only that I got myself a small Kong, I even got myself a nice giant Kong, which I think is very neat. Like I say, these figures, they're not really that bad. A lot of people, they said that they're like, a lot of people said that this is like one of the worst Godzilla figures ever made. And I'm here thinking, like, I think, isn't that a little bit too harsh? Because if I'm being honest, this toy line, really, it's the definition of like, don't knock it till you try it. Okay, I mean, that sounds kind of weird. Like, don't judge it. Don't judge a book by its cover, kind of like that. I don't really know how to say it really. It's like, like this is like, people are so quick to judge because I get it. They didn't look that good in the pictures, but when you finally have them in your hands or when you finally see them in person, it's like, they're not really that bad. And you have to think of what's the idea of Playmates toys. It's like they've been doing kids' toys. That's their, that has been their motto. Never once have they really done toys based off of like other types of media, except for that one time with the Toxic Crusaders that came out like in the 90s. And that was a cartoon. The Toxic Crusaders is a cartoon based off of a really bloody and gory rated R movie called The Toxic Avenger that came out in I think 1984, 1985. So I guess it was that one time, but then again, everything was kind of different back then. It's not like nowadays where everything's like so PC. It's ridiculous. But, you have to kind of understand, obviously, these figures are not going to have the same quality as Bandai. It's in the same style, the same vinyl style. Like with my shelf, I put the Playmates ones next to the Bandai ones because they're both basically the same. In fact, Playmates reflect that because they even went out to release the Bandai Creations old figures. They released 1954 Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, 2000 Godzilla, and then 2001 King Ghidorah. One thing I want to get out of the way, though, I got these three from the Bandai Creations line. This one is from the movie Monster series. But what's funny is that when Playmates started releasing them, you can see how at the bottom, I mean, you can't really see it because of my camera quality, but at the bottom it says Bandai 09. So I guess this figure was made or came out in 2009. I guess so. So what happened is that Playmates, they started re-releasing these, but in their name. So like I saw, what was his name? Luminous, I think. He had the entire collection. Like he had all of them, even Gigan. And that's sad because I love Gigan. And he showed that Playmates, they actually put their name on top of Bandai. So that got me thinking. So is Playmates going to take over the Godzilla toy line? I mean, we don't really know. There isn't really too much information to go by. Because New York Toy Fair passed a long time ago, but they didn't really give us any like type of information because they didn't want to spoil the movie. Because to be fair, a couple of toys already popped up online, and it revealed that there's going to be another new monster in the movie. Obviously, I can't really show you the picture, but at least it just kind of gives you an idea. So it's like Playmates. It's like, yes, we're going to be making more, Godzilla figures, but it's like we don't want to spoil too much because hey, nobody likes spoilers. Like, my God, literally. How many videos have I seen where people are like, oh, Godzilla versus Kong, spoilers. Bro, you don't know nothing about the movie. We don't even got a trailer yet. The trailer is supposed to come out either between maybe this month or next month. It's kind of hard to say because everything is like a mess right now. Not counting what's been going on. Godzilla versus Kong has been kind of going through this weird mess. And I guess in some people's minds, they're thinking that the toys don't really help because the toys are already as bad as it is. Like, let's not hurt the movie because this is supposed to be like one of the biggest movies of 2020. Well, it's supposed to be. I kind of believe it because the last time Godzilla and King Kong fought was in 1962. That's a long time. Like, are you kidding me? My parents weren't even born then. Like, come on. That's just So, well, we can only wait, because what I'm trying to say is that there's definitely, a chance that this toy line, there's definitely some type of creativity behind it. Like, I definitely think that these figures have a chance. And it's possible, especially with the leaks, because I remember a while ago, somebody leaked a picture of a list showing that they were going to make like Megalon and Jet Jaguar. That would be pretty nice. And even Gorosaurus, which I found kind of interesting, because Gorosaurus, he's not too much of a Godzilla character. He's more of a King Kong character. But then again, that's kind of a whole other story, because Gorosaurus did appear in 2 Godzilla movies, but one was more relevant than the other. Like I say, I'm not reviewing the movies. I'm just talking about the toys, because honestly, these poor things, they got so much hate, and it's like, people can't be so quick to judge because they're really, really not that bad. Heck, I remember even the other week. I went out during quarantine. That's bad. Don't do that. I even went out and got Destroyer, and I'm like, wow, these are actually pretty nice figures. I mean, hey, I even like this one better than the movie Monster Series one, and I don't even got that one. And that sucks because I want that one too. I'm wasting all my money on this, and it's sad. But you know what? It's a hobby. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of collecting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've been trying to decide when I should review these figures, because I know I'm also an Ultraman fan. So of course I have like a lot of Ultraman figures I was supposed to review, because I did like a whole playlist for that too. And I don't know what happened. It never really got underway. I do plan on reviewing, the Ultraman figures too, but it's like with what's going on now, it's kind of hard. So don't expect a review anytime soon. Maybe one might pop up. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk about one of these figures one day. I might as well talk about the big 12-inch ones too, because those are pretty good ones to kind of look at. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, so my overall review, I think these are pretty nice figures. I think people do like them. It's just that a big majority of them just don't. So, if even you're curious about these toys, like, at least check them out. You don't have to buy them. These toys, they're literally like in an open box. I mean, look, I got a couple right here. Right? Just right, open box, just right there. You can just look at them right there and just decide. Because don't get me wrong, $13, it sounds like a lot, but in all honesty, it's not that bad for what you're getting, especially with the Ninja Turtle toys, because they used to cost like what, $9.99, $8.99. So you're getting these for like $12.93, I believe. And hey, it's not that bad, I mean, you got a nice full-fledged figure right here. You got the nice little tail right here. I don't know why my dog's going crazy, but whatever. So that's my overall review. They're not bad. I think people should kind of give them a chance. Well, give it a chance when this quarantine is done, because everything is kind of a mess. In fact, I don't go back to school until in May. That sucks. Did I forgot to mention I graduate this year? Yeah. So, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed the video. So I'll see you guys soon. Leave a like or subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya. Thank you. Your breath stinks.